Hi, I'm Andrew Grant. I was the technical director at the MIT Game Lab for many years, and that has brought me in contact with a lot of very talented interns and has given me a lot more recent experience with game development techniques and how to get games done start to finish on a very short time frame. Lex Laser Saves the Galaxy Again is a game primarily designed for parents of small children, but it also applies a bit to other people who are just busy. The basic idea is that busy people need to put down the game and pick it up at any moment, and then maybe they're going to spend weeks between gameplays, and so the game needs to remind them what they're doing, but still be interesting to play. So we're trying to give these busy people a deep game experience without having the huge time commitment and memorization problems that usually come in those kinds of games. In my time at the MIT Game Lab, I worked on a large number of games. Usually the ones I was most involved with were ones that have a pretty strong technical component, and in particular ones where the game design and the technology work together. And so all these teams were generally making games in a very, very short time frame, 8 weeks start to finish from concept to completion. Lex Laser Saves the Galaxy Again is a game about Lex Laser, who's an asteroid miner by trade. Lex Laser is off by themselves for months at a time. This is actually pretty important to gameplay. We don't want to give you so many characters to control that you forget what's going on. So you concentrate on this one important person. You play the role of Lex Laser's combat implant, and so occasionally you'll have a build back and forth repartee as the plot unfolds. I've assembled the team for Lex Laser Saves the Galaxy Again mostly from our alums at the MIT Game Lab. These are people who have worked with me on projects in the past and know how to make a game from start to finish on a very short time schedule. They've all been through the process. They've all practiced their trade, and they're all very good at it. Alec Thompson is one of the programmers on the project. He's a very gifted programmer and also has a lot of experience as a designer. In particular, he's got a lot of experience with sort of the roguelike genre and the puzzle games that we're making. He does a lot of procedural work to help the computer create the game a little bit for us.
Hi, my name is Alec Thompson. I'm a recent graduate of MIT, and I love procedural generation for content in games so much that I wrote my thesis on it. A lot of work I've been doing recently, both with my thesis and with other games that I've been working on, has been focused on the intersection between design and programming when it comes to procedural generation of content for games. And I think that Lex Laser Saves the Galaxy Again is a fantastic opportunity to explore a lot of these ideas, the research and the interesting things that can be done with procedural generation to get really interesting gameplay. I think procedural generation can be really useful for creating emergent gameplay in a game like Lex Laser Saves the Galaxy Again. For instance, these situations that are really interesting and really engaging that the designer didn't necessarily think about. So I'm very excited to come into this project as both a programmer and a designer to explore a lot of these ideas for producing the most interesting gameplay possible.
We're trying out a couple of mechanics that I haven't seen used very much in roguelike games. Most of your weapons are going to have large area of effect attacks, and this means that you might have a beam that hits a long range of squares in a row, or you have a big explosive grenade. We're not looking for fancy number manipulation as much as we are spatial layouts, and really taking advantage of the spatial intuitions that roguelike games offer. What we're trying to do is change the mechanics of a roguelike to being highly visual, highly spatially based. We do this by having large area of effect attacks, lots of enemies everywhere. Where you're standing is very important. Where the enemies are standing is very important. This brings everything right up to the view, up to the player, so you can see what's going on and make your decisions quickly without having to wonder about the underlying numbers as much. We think that the right way to get a really good game is to try a lot of different things. And so we'll try something and it won't work and we'll throw it away, and we'll try something else and that won't work and we'll throw it away. But we'll find one gem of useful stuff in there and we'll put that in the third one and maybe that'll work. And we do this over and over again until we get a game. The Kickstarter funds go somewhat towards software and a couple of things that we need to finish the game. The bulk of the money is going to go to the developers themselves, who are giving up other opportunities to work on this project. And so my hope is that I can keep them on board with a little bit of assistance in the meantime. We hope to deliver a digital download of the game in early 2014. As a new parent, I've found that I haven't had as much time to dedicate to games as I used to. It's really hard to get that deep experience, that tough challenge, out of games that I can only play, for a couple minutes at a time. Lex Laser Saves the Galaxy Again is designed to help with that, to provide a deep experience to the busy person. And I hope that you think this is interesting, and I hope you can help us out. Thank you.